Good morning, nerds. Let's take a visit to the Renwick Gallery in Washington, D.C. I want to highlight the work of Erica Lord, who is an Athabascan and Inupiat artist. Lord uses beadwork to reflect on how diseases have impacted Alaska Native communities. These are burden straps, which are traditionally made of woven materials. People use burden straps to carry babies or heavy objects. Lord beads these burden straps to reflect DNA and RNA microarrays for diseases including multiple myeloma, adrenocortical cancer, and leukemia. At the Renwick, you can also find Lord's work, The Codes We Carry. But before I talk about that, you need to know about the Nome Serum Run of 1925. In January 1925, a small town called Nome, Alaska, with a population of 1,400 people, was experiencing an outbreak of diphtheria. At the time, the way to treat diphtheria was with an antitoxin, but the closest antitoxin was in Anchorage, which was 1,000 miles away. Getting the antitoxin from Anchorage to Nome was no small feat. Boats couldn't get to Nome because of the January sea ice. Planes didn't have the technology to fly in the Alaskan winter yet. There were no trains to Nome. There were no highways. So they used a method that Alaska Native people had practiced for thousands of years. Sled dogs. Alaskan health authorities shipped the serum to Nenana, Alaska by train. They assembled a team of 150 dogs and 20 mushers who would deliver the serum in a 674-mile relay from Nenana to Nome. The mushers were trappers, guides, mailmen, and competitive racers. Some were Alaska Native and some were not. They all risked their lives to transport the serum, fighting icy fog, steep winds, and temperatures down to negative 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Many dogs and mushers suffered from frostbite, and several dogs died. The teams delivered the serum to Nome in 5.5 days. Because of their efforts, only 5 of the 1,400 people in Nome died of diphtheria. So that brings us back to the codes we carry. Erica Lord honors the 150 sled dogs who fought through the Alaskan winter to save those 1,400 people with tuppies. Tuppies are ceremonial blankets that were traditionally used in Alaska Native communities to honor sled dogs. Each tuppy is beaded with a DNA or RNA microarray that represents a different disease: diphtheria, smallpox, tuberculosis, diabetes, ovarian cancer, and COVID. These diseases disproportionately impacted Alaska Native communities because of human-built systems. Today, Indigenous and Alaska Native communities experience tuberculosis at 8 times the rate of white Americans, reflecting both a legacy of racism and colonialism and a current failure of our healthcare systems to deliver care where it needs to go. So let's hold that 700-mile trek through the Alaskan winter in our heads as we exit the Renwick Gallery and take a half-mile stroll down Pennsylvania Avenue to Danaher headquarters. Danaher is a biotech conglomerate that uses DNA to diagnose diseases with their device GeneXpert. GeneXpert is great for places that don't already have extensive lab infrastructure. You just put a sample in the machine and come back 2 hours later and you have an accurate diagnosis for tuberculosis, HIV, COVID, Ebola, hepatitis, cancer risk factors, or many other diseases. The problem is, the single-use expert tests are unaffordable in the places that need them most. Independent analyses have shown Danaher can make these tests for as little as $3, but they charge low to middle income countries up to $20 for these tests. If you're living on $2 a day in Sierra Leone, $20 is a lot of money. So doctors often have to ration tests, leaving many people undiagnosed. That means people with drug-resistant TB are treated with the wrong drugs or not treated at all, and babies with HIV don't receive the antiretroviral therapy that they need to survive. 150 dogs and 20 mushers risked their lives to save a small town of 1,400 people. All Danaher has to do to save millions of lives is move around a couple of numbers in a spreadsheet. And yet, reaping a slightly smaller profit in order to save lives has so far proven too difficult for them. So let's give them some encouragement to put people over profits. Sign the petition in the description and visit tbfighters.org to find out how you can call, email, and make social media posts at Danaher to convince them that it's time for $5 tests for tuberculosis, HIV, Ebola, and all of their other diagnostics.